another series of Vanilla JavaScript Strategies. Today we are going to be building the hex page of the background color changer app. Now in the last tutorial we were able to build a simple page of this color changer app. Now if I click on this flip me, we're able to generate 4 different colors randomly from an array. If you can see, as you will notice, we're generating 4 different colors randomly from a set of simple array. Now today we're going to be building a functionality to generate colors on the fly using hexadecimal color values. Now our hexadecimal color values looks like this. In our app.js, our hexadecimal color values looks like this here, right here. So we are going to be generating colors that has value of this nature. And if you notice, the value we have here has 6 characters appended to a pound symbol here. So we're building a functionality to generate 6 characters from this hex array and append to a pound symbol. Now when we are able to generate that, we will get an hexadecimal value that will give us a color value, a specific color value to be generated on our application right here. Right now our application has no functionality. The button is not working right now. So firstly, we already have our x.html also. So we'll be pointing at the span tag and also the button tag like we did in the previous tutorial. So our span tag has a class of color and our button tag has an ID of button which we'll be targeting in our JavaScript file. So firstly, I'm going to declare a variable called color to point to our span tag. And remember, span tag attribute has a class of color. So to point to that, we would use document.query selector. We are selecting the color class, our span tag. Also, we'll be pointing at the button using the ID. So I'll give it a variable name of btn also. So document dot, since it's an ID, we get element by ID. The name of the ID will be specified here, btn. We don't need to include the pound sign since it's an ID. Okay. Now this is excluded because JavaScript already knows, using this method here, JavaScript already know that we're pointing to an ID. Also, we can also do this query selector also, and selecting the ID of btn. We can also do this. This is valid JavaScript also. So we will also still be pointing to our button element using this statement right here. So I'll prefer the former. So alright, now we have our 2 elements selected, which is a vital element we need to select to make our app running, to make our app working. So we need to ensure our button is working right now. Now if we look at our dev tool, our console, if I click the button, nothing happens. So let's build that functionality of the button working. So I'm going to create an event listener on the button. So how do we do that? Button add event listener. Event listener takes in 2 parameters. First parameter is the event we're listening to, and in this case we're listening to the click event. And the second parameter is a callback function. So what do we want to happen anytime this button is clicked? First of all, let's console log what we want right now and see if the button is actually working. Button click. we save this and jump back to our browser, clear this up, and we click the button. The button is clicked now. Functionality of the button is actually working. I've clicked the button 5 times and it has indicated here. Okay, going right back to our code. This is not actually what we want the button to do. We want to select random characters from this array, of this X array. So how do we select a random character from an array? There's an inbuilt function for that also, so we're going to create a function to implement that. So constant, let's get random numbers, and call this function random numbers. So this function is going to return a random number. Okay, how do we return random numbers in JavaScript? There's an inbuilt function called max.random. Okay, so we're going to multiply this function with the array. What array are we multiplying to? The X array, which is X. We're not just multiplying it to the X array, we're multiplying it to the whole length of the X array. So we have a method called the .length method for arrays properties. Okay, so we're multiplying our match random function with the length of the X array. Alright, let's see what that gives us in our dev2. Okay, we need to call it first. Whenever we click the button, let's console log that and see what we have in our dev2. Get random numbers. If we check our dev2, if we click this, we are generating numbers. But if you notice, we are generating float numbers. We are generating decimal numbers. This is not what we want, because in our arrays are zero-based index, meaning the first character here has an index of 0. Second character has an index of 1. Third character has an index of 2. Fourth character has an index of 3, and so on. Now, if you notice in this array, we have 16 characters, 16 elements. Now, the last element here, the last character here, has an index of 15. So we need to be able to generate random numbers that are whole numbers, so to say. There's another inbuilt function that does that in JavaScript. We call it max.flow. So this function is what we'll use to generate the whole number, but we need to embed this functionality of generating a random number into this max.flow function. So this way we will be able to generate random whole numbers. Now if we check our dev tool again, clear this up, and we'll click, and we're generating whole numbers. If you notice, we're generating whole numbers. And also if you notice, the highest whole number we've generated here is 15. Okay, and that's because the last element here has an index of 15, so we won't go past 15. Okay, so now that functionality is working. That's good. All right, now without wasting time, we need to remember I said we will have to generate 6 characters appended to an hash symbol, right? Alright, good. So firstly, let's see how we can generate those random numbers from this array. 6 characters from this array, which are random, which are being selected randomly. So for us to generate from this array, we need to loop through this array. So how do we loop through the array? We can use a for loop. So I'm using a for loop here. I'm initializing a variable called I equals 0. Now the condition is going to be I less than 6. Remember I said arrays are zero-based index. It means if we're taking values from 0 through to the last value, which will be 6, which will be 5, we are definitely going to generate 6 characters. Yes, starting from 0 through to 5 will generate 6 characters for us. So we have to increment this. Okay. Now what do we want to do? We want to pick up this our get random number function in here. We're calling our get random number this function into this array once it is being looked through. So once it is being looked through, we're getting a random number. Look through the second time, we're getting a random number. So we have to embed this function of get random number in our X array. So this is our X array. So this our random number function, get random number function will be embedded here. Okay, so now we're looking through this X array, getting random number 6 times. Okay, and remember, once we get those 6 characters, we need to append it to an hash symbol. So we need to bring in our hash symbol into this. Okay, so I'm going to declare a hash symbol here first. Declare a variable called, I'll call it hex color, and assign it to our pound sign. Okay, now our hex color is holding our pound sign, so we need to append this value we're getting from here into here. Remember, our hex color is our pound sign now. Okay, to give us a value that looks like this right here. Alright, so we are going to our hex color. So we are appending these random values we're getting from here, random characters we're getting from here to this right here. Remember, our hex color was initially assigned our pound sign, so the value here will be appended to the value here right now. So we have our hex color assuming a new value, which will give us an hexadecimal value. So now we need to use that hexadecimal value to style our background. So how do we style our background? We need to point to the document body, document.body. So what do we want to do with the body? We want to style the body. What part of the body are we styling? We're styling the background color of the body with what? With our hex color, which has assumed a new value now that looks like an hexadecimal value. Okay, now this will give us a random hexadecimal value to be styled on this background. So if we save this and we go back to our dev tool, we don't need our dev tool right now. If we flip this, okay, we are generating colors on the fly, different colors on the fly. Now to be sure of this, let's see the value of each and every one of the colors we generate right here. Remember, we pulled in our span element here using the color class. So we're going to point to the span element here. So that will be our color. But the text content, we want to with the text content to have a value of whatever value is coming from here. So we're also going to assign this to text color to our text content in our span. So if you save this and go back to our browser and flip, and we're generating colors on the fly and having the values of the colors right here. And that is so beautiful. So this is our color flipper app, and we've generated has colors from here. And thank you for staying this long, and thank you for watching the tutorial. If you enjoyed this tutorial, I want you to like the video, subscribe, and comment if you want to. Alright, do have a wonderful day out there. Thank you for staying.